Okay, so let's look at this question. Given the following information, find cosine and tangent. And they give you two pieces of information. Sine is 3/7 and tangent is less than 0. Okay, this is a little bit tricky to do. So this is where you're going to recall this trick. This is called all students take calculus. That's why I'm going to see you guys all next year. Take calculus. All students take calculus. It's all students take calculus. All students take calculus. This is like a brainwashing technique that I do every year. So you guys will all take calculus next year. Okay, all students take calculus means all means everything. So all the trig functions in that quadrant is positive. S means sine. So only sine is positive in that quadrant. Everything else is negative. So sine is positive. Its reciprocal is positive, but cosine and tangent are negative. T means tangent. So tangent is positive, but sine and cosine are negative. And then C means cosine. So cosine is positive, and then sine and tangent are negative. Okay, so all students take calculus. All right, so let's look at this problem. Sine is 3/7. Sine is 3/7. What it's trying to tell us is sine is positive. Where is sine positive? Which quadrant is sine positive? 2 and first. Everything is positive in all, and then S means sine is positive. So it's going to be here. Second, the second information is tangent is negative. Out of those two, which one is tangent negative? Second one. Yes. But the first one already told us it's sine is positive, so we only have two options. Out of the two options, choose the one that gives tangent negative, so only the second one. Okay, so this is how you're going to use all student take calculus and also elimination to tell you which quadrant this angle has to be in. So this angle has to be in quadrant 2. So you draw the angle like that. This angle is whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Let's just draw this triangle. Remember, again, triangle, the right angle is perpendicular to the x-axis. Don't draw it to the y-axis. You would totally be solving the wrong thing. Okay? X-axis. Next, the information. Sine is 3/7. Sine is 3/7. Remember SOHCAHTOA. Sine is what side over what side? Okay, opposite over hypotenuse. And then so what we want to do now is put 3 and 7 in the right place on that triangle. Okay, so 3 belongs to opposite. So opposite is going to be there. 7 is H, so 7 goes in the hypotenuse. Now look at the question. Find cosine and tangent. Find cosine and tangent. So cosine is going to be what side over what side? Adjacent over hypotenuse. The question is, do I have adjacent? No, so I need to figure that out, right? So how do I figure that out? Pythagorean theorem. So let's just call this x. So x squared plus 3 squared is equal to 7 squared. So x squared plus 9 is 49, and x squared is 40. So what is x? Okay, 2 square root 10. Yes and no. The negative, yeah, because we're on the left-hand side. And if we don't put a negative, we'll actually solve for the wrong angle. So if we're on the left, we want to put a negative there. So the sign is very important. All right, so that's going to be negative 2 square root 10 over 7. And then we want tangent. So tangent is what side over what side? Okay, opposite over adjacent. So that's going to be 3 over Yes, good. There you go. You guys okay? Yeah. So this is the kind of question where you have to start from the all students take calculus to eliminate and eliminate so that you get just that one quadrant. You draw the reference triangle and then solve. All right, let's try another one. Secant is 3. Secant is 3. Secant is 3 tells us what? Okay, yeah, 1 over cosine is equal to 3. Which quadrant is that information trying to tell us? 1 and 4, yes. It's telling us cosine is positive. So positive cosine is right here. All students take calculus. So A and C are the only cosine that's positive. From there, where is sine positive? First quadrant. So then you draw a triangle there. Okay. We don't know what 1 over cosine is, but we can just find cosine. And I think I may have showed you yesterday, maybe not. So the fastest way to find cosine is just find the reciprocal. If you flip this one, it's the same thing as flipping the one on the right. If you don't like that method, you can always try cross multiply. But it's slower. So if you flip the left-hand side, it's the same thing as flipping the right-hand side. Like I said, if you don't like that, you can always cross multiply and just say that 3 times cosine is the same as 1 times 1. So then cosine is 1/3. It's the same thing. It's just one way is faster than the other. But if you don't understand how that way works and you feel a little bit uneasy about it, you can always cross multiply. Okay, so cosine is 1 over 3. You're going to take that information knowing that cosine is ca, the adjacent over hypotenuse part, and you're going to solve for the same thing. Cosine and tangent. Okay, solve that one. Let me know when you're done. And then do the last one. All right, for B, I think all of you guys got it right. Cosine is 1/3 and tangent is 2√2. The last one, cotangent is undefined. Secant is negative. Okay, undefined means, Okay, so if cotangent is undefined and we know that tangent is the reciprocal of cotangent, and cotangent to be undefined, you have to have it over 0, right? So then if you have a reciprocal of that, you must have 0. So in order for tangent to be 0, it is not in any of the quadrants. It has to be on the axis, right? That's the only way. And we know that tangent is the same thing as saying sine over cosine. So that means sine has to be 0. And in order for sine to be 0, it has to be here or here. Yeah. Okay, and then since secant is negative, it has to be negative cosine. So then it has to be, cosine has to be -1. And then tangent is 0. Okay. I think that's the end of the page. Okay, next page. All right, so this is another unit circle for your reference if you need it. Okay, periodic function. Periodic function means that things that keep repeating, having a certain period. Period means that it keeps happening the same way over and over. So periodic functions are things like sine, cosine, and tangent. They keep repeating itself in a certain way. So sine, cosine, and then their reciprocal, cosecant and secant, they all have a period of 2 pi. Tangent and cotangent are half of that, so they have a period of pi, the normal ones. Okay, you're going to find the following without a calculator. That looks crazy. Okay, so, well, the way to do this is knowing that it has a period. So sine repeats itself every 2 pi. So that means whatever this number is after 2 pi, it's the same number. It's after 2 pi, same number, so on. So we're just trying to see how many of 2 pi's are there so we can get rid of it. And then we can figure out what is that actual number inside the unit circle. Does that make sense? You're nodding your head, but I'm not really sure. Okay, so the question is, what is really this number in the unit circle? So basically, what is the coterminal angle with this angle? Yeah? What's a fast way to do this? Besides keep subtracting 2 pi. Huh? Minus the pi over 2?
Sure.
Wait, what did you say?
I was saying it has to do something with pi over 2.
Oh, yeah, it does have to do something with pi over 2.
Then you just said it, minus pi over 2.
Okay, so we can take out the pi over 2 from it. So we can say this is 57800 pi over 2 plus pi over 2. So I took out a 1 over 2. Now what? Yeah?
Doesn't that like cancel out?
Yes, what does that become?
Oh no, but it's even, so it cancels out, right?
Even, let's divide first, because even number divided by even number doesn't always have to be even, right? It could be odd. So what is this? 2, 8, 9, 0, 0. I sometimes cannot believe my own calculation, so please check. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so then the question is this divisible by 2? Yes, that should be a fast answer. It's even, right? So it has to be divisible by 2. So if it's divisible by 2, that means we're just going around the circle even amount of times. So that means it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Because I keep going around 2 pi. It's just a multiple of 2 pi. Yes, so it's really just saying sine of pi over 2.
That's what I meant at first when I was saying.
Yes, but it could also be 3 pi over 2. That's why I'm saying like we should check.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wait, so if it's even, you just always cross it out?
If it's even, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so sine pi over 2, what is that? We got to the answer, but we don't know.
91.
Yeah, 90 degrees, so sine 90 degrees.
Oh.
Huh?
1.
Yeah, 1. Okay, so this is how you do things really fast. Oh, this one. Crazy. Well, let me ask you, is this the same as just saying cosine 8 pi? I'm just like subtracting this? No. So we can't do that. This is not a linear function. We can only do things like that if it were linear, but it's not linear. What should we do?
Take the cosine out.
Like factor out the cosine?
Is that possible?
No. It's a function. It's not a coefficient. Try to find a, how about try to find a coterminal angle?
We need to do like the 360.
Okay, so this is the same as saying 288 pi plus 0.45 pi, right? 288.5 is the same as 288 plus 0.45. Minus cosine of 280 pi plus 0.45 pi. Okay, it's already a big hint. What should we do next? Yeah? Okay, but why? They're even, yeah. They're multiples of 2 pi. Okay, multiples of 2 pi goes back to the same place. So this is cosine 0.45 pi minus cosine 0.45 pi. So it's 0. Okay?
At first, I guess it was like a 0. Because I know the 0 to the 45 is
All right, try this one. So recall that tangent has a period of pi, not 2 pi. So this whole thing cancels out. So this is just tangent of pi over 4. All right, pi over 4, so tangent again is sine over cosine, and, 4, over cosine. And at pi over 4, they have the same ratio, so this is just 1. Okay, good? Yes, maybe? Yeah, kind of.